Improv is cool and fun, but did you know that there was a dark side of it? A dark side where rule the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Hello and welcome in Express Machina, a shorter format where we can talk about other stuff while I prepare the other episodes which will last longer. And today we are going to talk about 4 situations that we really want to avoid in improv. Numero 1. Negotiation scenes. Well, we don't really like that in improv because the goal is external to the scene. And like I said in a previous episode, your goal has to be on stage. Besides, if you are negotiating your mortgage for your next Chevrolet, well, the stakes are not that high. And negotiation is the incarnation of a fear mechanism. Okay, so we'll talk about that in another episode, but quickly, a fear mechanism is a wayward behavior induced by the fear in any improv scene, because improv is scary. In this case, we're talking about the agreed activities, meaning that to minimize the risk, you are going to agree on what you're going to do next on stage in order to avoid being in danger. Okay, so what do? We do that, and then we go there. Okay, we do that. This way you're not taking any chance and the stakes just crumbles. Remember, the scenaristic value of a desire is as strong as what the protagonist is willing to risk to get it. That's a long sentence, so I just put it there. So minimizing the risk is killing your character. Finally, negotiation leads to some kind of tug-of-war which lasts for hours. So no stakes and it drags on forever. If you give me this, then I give you that. No, then I want 2. Then no, I don't give you unless you give me something different but the same. Okay, then I give you half. Yeah, but okay, but no, because I don't. Oh, get me out of the theater, please. You are going to say no, way too much. Remember the skiing tracks and all that jazz. And you're going to make up useless stuff and forget the main ideas. Well, you won't be listening anymore. And what's more, there's really nothing at stake here because you can make up whatever you want. It's improv. If you give it to me, I give you $1 million. Nobody believes it. It's outside the circle of expectations. Don't do it. So please avoid negotiations. Number 2. Hello, I would like a cheeseburger, please. You already know that it's going to suck monkey balls. Transactional relationship, where the goal is some form of exchange, are very close to negotiation. Once again, the problem is that the goal is external to the characters. The goal here is to get the cheeseburger, and we don't care about it. We go to theater to see relationships, not buns. Unless you're into that, which is different. Especially since when the transaction is done, well, the scene is over. And nothing happened. You're not gonna get changed by a cheeseburger. So suddenly you go, damn, I have to stay on stage. So you find a pretext to stay, it turns into a negotiation, and the scene is lost. So you need to defuse that situation. The object of the transaction should just be a pretext for a relationship to happen and evolve. If the buyer is in love with the cashier and wants to declare his love for her, and if the cashier is this close from getting fired and needs to over-satisfy a customer, well, it's a bit more interesting already. So avoid transactions just for the sake of it. Son! My dear, how many times did I hear? I'm gonna teach you how to get girls, kid. It's roughly the same problem. Somehow it's a knowledge transaction. But it's a little bit more subtle because the transmission takes more time, so it feels like it's a good platform to play with. And we all have in mind all the training scenes in Matrix or Kill Bill, which are pretty cool and happen usually in the second act of a movie. Except that you are in a theater and not in a movie, so you can't do jump cuts, so it's way harder to show. Dynamic time jumps are very complicated to do in theater, so it's already a very slippery slope. But the heart of the problem is that you completely forget to define your character. That's what we call the functional character issue. Saying, who am I? A teacher. What do? I teach? Well, it doesn't bring much to the platform. So careful saying, what do? I'm teaching math or time travel. It's not enough. You need to have a specific goal on the other character. Once again, it's not the same scene. The teacher wants to look cool, to be invited to a student party because his wife has dumped him, because he's sad, because his friends don't call him anymore because he didn't come to the wedding, and this example is starting to be too much autobiographic. And if the student just wants to find a place to crash. There's more at stake already. Et numéro 4. Mr. Solution, that nasty bastard. Well, it's not a situation here, but a character who is going to solve the problems as soon as they appear. Why? Because Mr. Solution is very afraid to be vulnerable on stage. So this is going to trigger a fear mechanism that we call cancelling. It's going to cancel all the problems as soon as they appear. There is sometimes more than one Mr. Solution on stage, and we are sometimes the victim and the culprit of this kind of improv crime. Say it with me, brothers and sisters, let the problems be, don't cancel them. Stay in your deep shit and dig deeper. It's normal to have this defensive reflex in real life, but on stage, problems are your friends. An improviser loves being in trouble. I hope the jury of my next trial is going to understand that. So don't solve your problems and amplify them. And if you see a wild Mr. Solution appear, catch him with this impro ball. It's like a Pokeball before improvisers. And don't let him out. Voila! So to conclude, I would like to say that the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse are not an absolute. I have already seen a scene combining these 4 elements, and it was awesome. So it's just a slippery slope. But how can you change this lead into gold? Find an organic game or go beyond the ongoing transaction or negotiation to make it a pretext for something else. Something that your character can only get through the other player. Come to the light side. Don't give in to fear mechanisms. Beware of the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Go work some improv, or even better, do some. Bye.